Welcome to another edition of BabyFace Heels. I am your man, Pops Griffin, and I have 2 out of my 4 guys with me. To my right, Menace Red.
Yo.
To my left, Ricky Bobby.
What's up?
Happy New Year. We are happy to be back, and you already know what we do. We are going to discuss professional wrestling, primarily WWE. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The head of the table is still the head of the table. Or is he not? We had a great return the other night. The man, the myth, the legend.
Jinder Mahal.
Yo, that was great, Red. But no, actually Ginger was in the building. And he fell victim to probably the greatest promo cutter ever to this day still. I'm going to say that. That is The Rock. And will we get the Roman and The Rock WrestleMania?
Well, how did you guys feel about what The Rock did when he came back? Like his promo and everything.
He's a troll. He's just such a troll.
But we talked about this on the side, right? Yeah. Where we were saying, I said at least, I still feel like he may be the greatest promo cutter ever. I mean, other than Punk, which we'll get into later, but like he comes back on the mic, man, and Cena had his greats too, but man, he came back and it was just like he didn't miss a step.
You think so?
I thought it was pretty good.
And the crowd engagement too.
The crowd engagement is
yes, who does that? Come on, that was great.
The crowd engagement was good. I think this promo was a little rusty. It was kind of corny at first, but once he got the crowd going and everything, I think the whole the pandering to USA and all that stuff was kind of corny. But he's just like getting back to it, so that should be the worst one. It wasn't bad still.
Yeah, no doubt. And I actually thought, it was a nice way to bring him back in. I think, the question was, would he do it? We know he has to do, obviously, a run. He can't just hop in and, I'm fighting. So, I mean, we'll see where it goes. I like the idea that he's back, and I like the idea that we probably will get it this year, and we'll see where that goes.
How do y'all feel about people on the internet saying he looked gassed after doing those couple moves to Jinder?
He did.
He was out of breath when he picked the mic back up.
Even like when Jinder started hitting him too, he just looked a little like he was like a little rusty.
Yeah, I mean, it's no stuntmen in here.
Yeah, but it's kind of.
Great point, man. I was just gonna say, let's give him some grace. He's coming from the Hollywood where he has a stunt man. But listen, the fact of the matter is, The Rock looks phenomenal. He looks like he could be the champion right now.
He's in great
shape.
Hey, I'm an 80s baby. If he's got the look, put the belt on him, right? So
I just don't want his return and I want the hype that's there. I don't want it to be like when Cena just came back and that was like a wash match.
Don't ever compare the great. Don't ever compare the great to John Cena. Don't ever do that again. That's blasphemy.
Wow. Wow.
I know I'm trolling, but we gotta have some fun. That's the Brahma Bull. Don't ever compare the people's champion to the wannabe. Okay, enough of this great dream match that's gonna happen soon. Let's talk about what's going on with the bloodline. Well, before I even touch on Solo and the other Uso brother, let's talk about Main Event Jay. Yeet! Let's talk about Main Event Jay. And is there really a real Solo push? Because the merch says it is, but he's always on TV or even in house shows where there's no solo matches. There's tag team matches. So I'm a little confused on what's going on there.
I think it's just putting him on his own because he's so popular. But his specialty is obviously tag team matches. So they're just... And honestly, since the main event title scene is so bloated, I don't think that there's really much wiggle room for him to go anywhere.
That's a great point. But I mean, there is a champion who is out there reigning and defending and who doesn't really have a defender. And I mean, I feel like this. If you're selling the merch, the fans are singing your songs, they're saying your sayings. Like, it's almost, that people's champ effect, right? It's not so much that we behind the scenes may agree, but if the people are calling for it, right? You know, it's like the yes. When they're calling for it like that, it's kind of hard to. I'm not saying you got to put a belt on them, but we got to get some real singles matches.
They got a lot of stock in Logan Paul.
Facts.
They got a lot of stock. Triple H is really high on him, and they got a lot of stock in Gunther right now too. Yeah. So if you put Jay up against either one of those guys, he's most likely going to lose. And then you got like a Drew McIntyre situation where he's really good, I guess, but he just keeps losing. And also, since The Rock is back, in that promo after he beat up Jinder, he said he's coming for the head of the table.
Yes.
So that everything could tie back into we've been waiting for like the last 2.5 years. Yeah. So Jay could pop back up in the Roman versus Rock match. More than likely, they'll all be there. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why they're holding off too.
Yeah, you're probably exactly right on that one. All right, so then what's up with Solo? I mean, is he just going to be a standby guy? We thought at one time he was going to be.
We thought he had potential for the world heavyweight. Like I think it's just like wasted now. Like I don't.
You think? I don't know. It's still he's only like 3 years in WWE. Yeah. Not even.
It's just so like right now it's so crowded. I don't see place for him.
Yeah, and he's not like that good in the ring to even contend with those guys.
That's a fact.
He's not seasoned enough yet. So I think just keeping him around as like some enforcer, security guard, have him interfere in matches. He was a part of the biggest moment of the year. They had Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes match of the year. The reason Roman won that match because Solo stepped in. Yeah. So he's there. He's just not ready yet.
I like him as an enforcer. I do think though that maybe if he got some more maybe tag team action, that could help his skills, improve. Because every Samoan, that Samoan drop is classic, right? And when I seen him in his last match, and I was like, gosh, he didn't really. He didn't nail it clean though. I'm like, bro, you gotta nail that clean.
What could be hurting him too is Roman has the part-time schedule. He's normally paired with Roman or his brother, but Roman he could come every 3 weeks and still have good matches and not be out of shape and stuff like that. Solo might need to stay in the fold week after week after week after week just to hone in on his skills.
I absolutely agree with that. I think you're absolutely right about that. But they got to do something. I don't want to see him just on the side. The enforcer thing is cool, but they got to do a little something more to help because this Rock and Roman thing is going to be big, man. It's going to be big. It's going to be real big.
Is it? How does this affect Cody finishing his story and Punk finishing his story now that The Rock is back?
I think there's a path for CM Punk because I think him and Seth have that real issue, right?
Yeah, him and Seth could go.
But I feel like for Cody, unfortunately, if he wants Roman and Rock's in the building now, that's a done story, unless Roman has to either continue to run right. I think he's capsuling Hogan or he just beat Hogan's record. Yeah. So now he's going really into, some real uncharted territory. As far as for Cody, I love him. He's a fighting dude. And I think at some point, maybe. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I don't think it's going to happen. That may be, you know what, no disrespect, but he may be the guy to possibly dethrone Gunther and start something there.
Nah, can't do it. That's not his story. That's not his story.
I agree that's not.
I think they're going to try and, squeeze him in some way, I don't know, but I think they're going to try and keep him relevant to the main story.
You got to think.
He was a big part of it.
There's AJ Styles, LA Knight, Randy Orton that are all fighting to have a shot at Roman. Now The Rock just popped back up. Mm-hmm. Cody's in the thing with Shinsuke, but everybody knows that his eventual goal is to be at Roman. I think best case scenario, which is really far-fetched, The Rock could beat Roman, come back one more thing, and Cody beats The Rock. Mm-hmm. That tops beating Roman. But other than that, I don't see nothing else for that.
But then Roman ends up taking Cody and he starts a run back over.
Start another run probably, kind of thing.
But that's not too bad because I don't see Rock I see The Rock beating Roman. I don't see The Rock doing a long reign with the title. We know it's scheduled. Yeah. So it's I don't think he's gonna do a long reign. So I can see him dropping to Cody.
Yeah, last time The Rock came back, he beat Punk, and then Punk beat him, or they did something like that with the titles, and then he had to leave again. So it's probably something like that.
It would be cool, and it may even be better for Cody's story, though, if it did go that route.
Yeah, if he beats The Rock, it's better than beating Roman.
Yeah, it could be pretty cool and go that route. I feel what you're saying, like it is somewhat of a drop because the Intercontinental title is certainly not as prestige as, right, the World Heavyweight title or the Undisputed title. Nah. I totally understand that. But I'm thinking more along the lines of the guy that's holding the belt.
True, it's a good win, but Cody's like he's top babyface in the world,
Facts.
Like not just in WWE.
No,
I just seen a clip of them playing his song at the Yankees game. He wasn't even there. The crowd's still doing the whoa and everything.
Yeah, he is a top babyface in the world.
And
I like that.
I don't think if he beat Seth, it would suffice either. Maybe if he beat Punk, because Punk just had the whole thing with AEW. AEW is Cody's company originally. Maybe something like that. But the Roman, the big belt, is his goal.
But I mean, Cody's the fighting American nightmare, right? The fighting babyface. Well, Seth is the fighting champion because we love the bloodline and we love Roman, but Roman ain't fighting like that. Roman be chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? He show up when he want to show up and, knock somebody out and keep it moving.
That's also a good point. Seth has more title defenses in his reign than Roman does in his reign. How do you guys feel about that?
That's crazy. I mean, I think it's crazy how The Rock can how Roman can leave, come back, and still assert dominance into titles and still get that crowd engagement, because when he a few years ago he was not like that at all. So fast forward into a long title reign. I think it's crazy.
I think it's an interesting stat, but I think it's kind of smoke and mirrors, because every time Seth's title defenses, he has 57. I couldn't name a lot of them. I know he beat Drew McIntyre a few times, but that's really it. Roman Reigns, most of the time he defends his title, it's a big deal every single time. And the last few times it's been the people he's going up against, they could really beat him, but they haven't been able to. So I think Roman's more significant still.
It's definitely more significant. I mean, Roman is knocking down names, you know what I'm saying? Hogan, a lot of people bash him for whatever, but I always say, you guys know this, him and Flair are a big reason why the business is what it is now. And the fact that he's surpassing him, there's nowhere but up from there. Just the fact that, the last few years, they're cracking billions, and they're saying, because of this guy, we cracked billions. So, I'm with it. I'm with you about the smoke and mirrors, although I do like Seth. Roman's schedule is great. And as a champion, you can't ask for a better schedule than he has.
Yeah, and he got his cousins on board. Yeah, he's living the dream.
For real.
And he's about to face The Rock at WrestleMania. Did The Rock say he's going to the Royal Rumble?
He did not, but since the cat's out the bag, he's my early prediction to win the Royal Rumble, because there is no way that he's coming back. Obviously, he skips the line, but you cannot just... There's no way that you can just say, hey, but the WrestleMania match is this. The winner of the Rumble always gets to the WrestleMania main event.
But then again, he's The Rock. Does he really have to win the Rumble to get to the
Right, he doesn't have to win the Rumble. He has to do something.
He doesn't have to, but tradition, the business, the right way to do things. Come on,
Here's the John Cena Rock difference right here. I think if you throw John Cena in the Rumble, that he could go. If you throw The Rock in the Rumble, any number under 25, he might get injured, he might tear something. Yeah. He's coming in at number 30. At number 30, he could do it.
It's 30.
But then that completely buries CM Punk and Cody, because they're both in the match. AJ Styles is in the match.
Those are my three two predictions to win is Seth and Cody. So
CM Punk and Cody.
CM Punk and Cody. So
we'll circle back to this Royal Rumble predictions, but I just feel like there is no. Let me not say there is no way. This is The Rock we're talking about, right? And the bloodline, and they are running the industry. I agree. But I do feel like, in a way, like you said, we got some great stories, right? There's the Cody. Punk is back. Although I do think Punk and Seth are going that way. So there's the Cody factor. But The Rock, and I love the American Nightmare, but The Rock and Roman, we've been talking about this ever since they put this belt on Roman, and they made this head of the table and all this, and what does it really mean? In order for it to complete, it would have to go this way. It would have to go that they fight at WrestleMania. You can't just skip the line like that, even though you technically are. They gotta make it in a way where it makes sense.
Also, knowing how self-entitled Roman is, he's not gonna, like, if The Rock just challenges him without, I guess, a proper winning, he wouldn't go for it, knowing Roman.
Yeah, he tweeted out a laughing emoji after The Rock.
Yeah.